By learning more about your genome, you have taken a major step preparing yourself for the genome era. First off, I want to say that I've been procrastinating about uploading this video for quite a long time. No matter what your views are, something in this video will probably offend you. This channel is all about science, and scientific facts do not care about your feelings or beliefs. I'm talking about facts and a little bit of connecting some really obvious dots together. In this video, I will use DNA evidence, known historical facts, historical inscriptions carved in stone, and the major epic poem of the people being discussed. Yes, I am talking about the Torah, also known as the Pentateuch, or 5 books of Moses in the Old Testament. We have found kernels of truth in epic works like Beowulf and the Iliad. Jewish scripture is no less deserving of this respect than those works. I shall be discussing 2 DNA groups today, Ashkenazi and Maghrebim, commonly known as Sephardim. There are other groups I shall discuss in a future video. Many people have trace amounts of Ashkenazi DNA. Some people, like Mayim Bialik, are almost exclusively Ashkenazi. It is generally accepted that Ashkenazi Jews began migrating from Rome to what is now France around 800 in the Common Era. There was a genetic bottleneck to 400 families when they began to migrate to Central and Eastern Europe about 1,000 years ago. Another bottleneck occurred as the Black Plague ravaged Europe in the 1300s. About half of Ashkenazi Levites have the subclade R1A Y2619, which originates in North Africa and the Middle East. 11.5% of Ashkenazi males have the R1A1A M17 subclade found among most Central and Eastern Europeans. E1B1B M35 occurs at about 20%, R1b RP25 occurs at about 11%, haplogroup G2C occurs at about 7%, and might be associated with Khazars. About 40% of Ashkenazi females have mitochondrial haplogroup K, a mutation that can be traced to 4 women in the 1st and 2nd centuries of the Common Era. This would have been about the time of the Talmudic academies after the fall of Jerusalem. Although a 2013 study contradicted this, the most recent DNA studies do confirm the original 2006 study on haplogroup K. Both Ashkenazim and Sephardim have widespread genetic links with Southern Europeans. Although Jewish people do not actively proselytize non-Jews, many have converted to Judaism over the millennia. Because of genetic bottlenecking, Ashkenazim are at higher risk for many types of cancer and Tay-Sachs, a rare developmental disorder that affects babies. Genetic counseling and bone marrow registries are highly encouraged in the Jewish community. On GetMatch, using the Eurogenes K13 or K15 models, most of the Jewish populations show high levels of East Mediterranean DNA. But this haplogroup is specifically associated with Levantine or Mizrahi Jews, who come from Iran and Yemen, and indigenous populations in Cyprus, Lebanon, and the modern state of Israel, specifically the Druze, Samaritans, and Palestinians. Maghrebim, or North African Sephardim, have high levels of both Eastern Mediterranean at about 34%, and Western Mediterranean at about 16% DNA. Haplogroup J, J1, and J2 are far and away the most common at a staggering 37% among Portuguese Jews, up to 100% in the ancient Tunisian Jewish community. About 40% of Libyan Jewish women have mitochondrial haplogroup HGX2E1A1A. 43% of Tunisian Jewish women are descended from 4 women from HGX2E1A1A, HGH30, HGR0A1A, and HGU4A1. Many Moroccan Jewish women come from HGX2B or HGH1E or HG H4A1A. Bulgarian Jewish women often have HG H25, and Turkish Jewish women tend to be HG H1P. The North African Jewish community dates back to the Roman Empire. Although I will discuss the Yemenite Jewish community in a future video, it is worth noting that DNA lineages dated back to the 2nd century of the Common Era. Iraq and Iran have Jewish communities that can be dated to the 6th century BCE using DNA, which matches the standard time of the Babylonian exile in 586 BCE.
By the rivers of Babylon. There we sat down, yea, we wept, when we remembered Zion. Upon the willows in the midst thereof we hanged up our harps. For they that led us captive asked of us words of song. And our tormentors asked of us mirth. Sing us one of the songs of Zion. How shall we sing the Lord's song in a foreign land? If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. Let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. If I remember thee not, if I set not Jerusalem above my chiefest joy. Remember, O Lord, against the children of Edom, the day of Jerusalem. Who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, that art to be destroyed. Happy shall he be, that repayeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be, that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the rock.
So where did the Jewish people come from prior to the Babylonian exile? I do not believe it is an accident that the Jewish people share genetic similarities with non-Jews from Lebanon and Gaza, as well as some rather random locations like Sicily and Tunisia. These are all areas settled by the Sea People, who helped bring an end to the Bronze Age. Before you dismiss this theory, listen to the following verses from Exodus 15, the Song of Miriam.
Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, and spoke, saying, I will sing unto the Lord, for he is highly exalted. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. The Lord is my strength and song, and he is become my salvation. This is my God, and I will glorify him. My Father's God, and I will exalt him. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his host hath he cast into the sea, and his chosen captains are sunk in the Red Sea. The deeps cover them. They went down into the depths like a stone. Thy right hand, O Lord, glorious in power. Thy right hand, O Lord, dasheth in pieces the enemy. And in the greatness of thine excellency thou overthrowest them that rise up against thee. Thou sendest forth thy wrath, it consumeth them as stubble. And with the blast of thy nostrils the waters were piled up. The flood stood upright as a heap. The deeps were congealed in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My lust shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. Thou didst blow with thy wind, the sea covered them. They sank as lead in the mighty waters. One who is like unto thee, O Lord, among the mighty. Who is like unto thee, glorious in holiness, fearful in praises, doing wonders. Thou stretchedst out thy right hand. The earth swallowed them. Thou in thy love hast led the people that thou hast redeemed. Thou hast guided them in thy strength to thy holy habitation. The peoples have heard, they tremble. Pangs have taken hold on the inhabitants of Philistia. Then were the chiefs of Edom affrighted. The mighty men of Moab, trembling taketh hold upon them. All the inhabitants of Canaan are melted away. Terror and dread falleth upon them. By the greatness of thine arm they are as still as a stone. Till thy people pass over, O Lord. Till the people pass over that thou hast gotten. Thou bringest them in, and plantest them in the mountain of thine inheritance. The place, O Lord, which thou hast made for thee to dwell in. The sanctuary, O Lord, which thy hands have established. The Lord shall reign forever and ever. For the horses of Pharaoh went in with his chariots and with his horsemen into the sea, and the Lord brought back the waters of the sea upon them. But the children of Israel walked on dry land in the midst of the sea. And Miriam the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel in her hand, and all the women went out after her with timbrels and with dances. 21 And Miriam sang unto them, Sing ye to the Lord, for he is highly exalted. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea.
I'm sure most of you have seen the Google Directions meme that says it's a 7-day walk from Egypt to Shiloh. Exodus makes it pretty clear that the Israelites stayed busy sacking kingdoms on their way to the Promised Land. Although we now understand that the words used in Exodus 34 meant radiant or beams, they nonetheless share a root with the Hebrew word for horn. Anyone who studied Hebrew understands how important root words are.
And it came to pass, when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tables of the testimony in Moses' hand, when he came down from the mount, that Moses knew not that the skin of his face sent forth the beams while he talked with him. And when Aaron and all the children of Israel saw Moses, behold, the skin of his face sent forth beams, and they were afraid to come nigh him. And Moses called unto them, and Aaron and all the rulers of the congregation returned unto him, and Moses spoke to them. And afterward all the children of Israel came nigh, and he gave them in commandment all that the Lord had spoken with him in Mount Sinai. And when Moses had done speaking with them, he put a veil on his face. But when Moses went in before the Lord that he might speak with him, he took the veil off, until he came out, and he came out, and spoke unto the children of Israel that which he was commanded. And the children of Israel saw the face of Moses, that the skin of Moses' face sent forth beams, and Moses put the veil back upon his face, until he went in to speak with him.
Multiple Egyptian inscriptions refer to the Sea People, naming many of them specifically.
Denien, Eques, Karkisa, Luka, Pereset, Sekeles, Serden, Teres, Tchiker, Shikila, Woses.
3 of the names sound very similar to Dan, Asher, and Issachar, the last of which is specifically associated with ships along with Zebulun. This might be considered tinfoil hat territory if it were not for the fact that DNA evidence seems to confirm this. Prior to the end of the Bronze Age, archaeological evidence shows a non-pork eating culture present in the area of Israel dating to about 2500 BCE, and recent settlements dating back 9,000 years in the area have been unearthed. It is the oldest evidence of agriculture in the Fertile Crescent. Humans and Neanderthals lived in the region around 100,000 years ago, and DNA trails show some evidence of a mating event at that time, although the skeletons are not specifically linked to modern Jewish people. If you happen to be watching this today, have a happy Sukkot, and I hope you had pleasant days of awe. Chag Sameach. If you like this video, please subscribe and keep checking this channel to learn how to get the most out of your DNA test results. Thank you for watching.